Hey everyone, thank you for stopping by Living To Do's review of Married at First Sight, Season 17, Episode 24, Reunion Part 1. Before I get started with the review, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, and I thank you in advance. Okay, so let's do this. This episode, this reunion was pathetic, sad, more of a bitch fest than anything else. This was a very disappointing season. It was a disaster. You bring 10 people together, we can't find a match for anybody. In fact, you made bitter enemies out of so many of these people, which is sad. A show that is supposed to be about love and commitment is just fighting and unhappy and hurt. I don't think that the show set out to do this. However, I don't know. Maybe it's some of these guys' agenda. So let's go ahead and get started. They come together. They're being interviewed or have a conversation with Kevin Fraiser, the host. And you could see people were in it. This season, if you notice that a lot of the guys especially didn't come out dressed for the occasion. Like the girls had on gowns, nice dresses. They dressed up. The guys, for the most part, a couple of them looked like they're going to a baseball game. You had Cameron, and he had a suit jacket, but underneath was a sweat shirt with a hoodie, like flannel or whatever that. It wasn't appropriate for the setting, especially when everybody else, were the ladies anyway, they look really, really nice. And Austin, he looked disheveled. He didn't look groomed. He just looked a mess. He looked depressed and unhappy. Um, and I hope I said that was for Austin. Brennan, I thought lost weight. He looked like he lost weight. And Michael looked okay. And again, what's his name? Orion. He just looked like whatever. The girls all wore pink. For everybody except Chloe. The girls, the four original girls, they were kind of dissed and they were united in girl power and wearing pink to show girl power. So that was kind of cute. Let's see what else had happened here. One thing I didn't like is Claire. I didn't like her hair. In fact, I didn't like it. I thought it looked like a wig, but I liked her hair, during the season. And Emily, what's with her, she has no cast. Her cast finally came off. And I guess that's the cast when she broke her arm or wrist at the honeymoon. So that's a long time. Michael cut his hair. We didn't see the cute little curly hair that he had. And they began talking a little bit, and Lauren said that Orion was there basically to, I guess, kind of shine light on his people, Native American people, maybe to have, just to show them in a different light by him being on this show. And Emily told us that Cameron was the one who spearheaded this idea to look good on camera, to do certain things a certain way, which I was surprised at. That sounds like something Brennan would totally do. And so all of this, the guys were kind of basically fake from the beginning, just to look good on camera. And I wonder what happened. Why did this come to be? Were they just a bunch of actors coming together trying to get through like this filming of this show? They didn't come here with real pure intentions. And the guys cared more about optics than the girls. They went along with it to, I guess, to be liked and to show support of these guys. And they just felt like they were taken advantage of. Cameron said that Claire had a boyfriend during this process, and she had sex with him right before the wedding. She looked surprised, hurt, and she puts her hands over her mouth. If it's not true, girl, then it's not true. Let it go. And she was upset and she was crying. So if it wasn't true, you wouldn't be doing all that. It'd be, oh, whatever. But you made this whole scene. I have to believe Cameron when he said that you had somebody else at the time and you didn't act interested in him, even though she said that she was. Austin said he was attracted to Becca at one time anyway, and I guess it's the same now. So he did make that known in the group. What Kevin Fraiser did next, he kind of broke some of the couples up and spoke with them separately, like Claire and Cameron. Yeah. And apparently Cameron wanted a European woman who was slender. That was his wish list to the experts, and he didn't get what he wanted. And I believe Claire is using that as an excuse. I know that hurts, maybe. He wanted someone tall and slender, and he's really tall too, and she's very short. I think she used that comment that he made to use it as to show or to seem like she was hurt. And that was the thing that wasn't going to make the relationship work, because that was sitting on the back of her mind. Oh, he feels this way about me. He doesn't really like me. I'm going to be guarded. You know, I think she began crying then too, but the way she kind of attacked this guy, you're this, you're that, you weren't this, and you weren't that. It just made me think about his health, because he has a real health issue. And Kevin Fraiser addressed that with him, and he said he would be okay. But I think they should have had more of a conversation. I believe she was putting on. She was more upset than she was. I think she just doesn't want people to see who she really is, and by all this emotion and acting up like that, she's deflecting everyone's attention. You know, when we're trying to get to the bottom of it, she's just curving everybody, so we won't, pursue her that way and investigate why she acted the way she did in some ways, and she's putting everything on Cameron. I just don't think everything was on Cameron. In the way she was acting, she said she was, during her time of divorce separation, she was getting her master's, for being a therapist. I question that all day. Every time Cameron would talk, he begins to talk and explain himself. She was always butting in, cutting him off. And I'm like, okay, those are traits that are not good for a therapist. You've got to let the other person talk. I wonder, they should grade her performance, her class, her teacher should grade her performance on the show and what she should have done and maybe not do. Now, the weird thing about this whole conversation with the couple in front of Kevin Fraiser is that Kevin Fraiser asked Cameron, because I think he began to detect maybe Cameron wanted to try with Claire again, which I thought was weird. And when he asked that of Cameron said, basically, he would like to try again. And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? What is wrong with you? What she put you through during this process, it seems like you would run the other way. It's really not that hard for a guy to get a girl. I believe it's really hard for a girl to get a guy, but there's just way more girls out there. And, I'm sure his DMs are blowing up. He Guys are a hot commodity. That's just it. And these girls they're allowing themselves to be put through these hoops to capture the attention, definitely the commitment of a man. I just didn't understand why he would want her. That just threw me for a loop. And I thought to myself, maybe he's really smart. I understand that. Maybe he just wanted to get her into a room and choke her. Because there's no reason why you would think you could find love over there. And if he is serious about wanting to try again with her, then I definitely would have to question his sanity. So Claire admits she now has a boyfriend. And Cameron has a new job in finance. I think he does. I don't know if he still owns his bike shop. I think he did get a chance to go out and bike a little bit, while he was during his time of illness. But I wish Cameron the best. I really do. Okay. Later, Kevin Fraiser sat down with Becca and Austin. And Kevin asked Austin during this conversation, what was the real reason for no intimacy? And you know what? I think they went to a commercial, and I didn't quite catch what the answer was. Cameron, he looked embarrassed, defeated through this whole process. Becca said that that Austin never made her a priority, and that's what the issue was with their relationship. He mentioned that it takes 3 to 6 months for him to be intimate. And I mean, maybe all guys should always be that way. Things might be better that, they don't try to paw after you after, just one meeting and one date or whatnot, that you take your time and build a relationship. He just needs time, he said. I don't totally believe that. He always put on for the cameras, and then when the cameras weren't on, he acted a different way. He just didn't look ready for this reunion. I don't know if he was mentally ready. After they had their little conversation with Kevin Fraiser, they're backstage, and the cameras were showing them hugging. He was really hugging her tight, and I think he whispered something in her ear. Cameron, I think he needs to come clean. Maybe not on camera, but maybe on the therapist table, couch somewhere, and get out whatever is cooped up inside. It just doesn't look good. Cameron was always that nice guy, always smiling. Not one smile, I don't think, during this whole reunion. He was very serious, which was a different side of him. Oh, he did say when they were hugging when he was hugging her, that he was thankful, I guess, that Becca could have gone harder on him, and she didn't. Whew, really? What happened? What could she have gone harder on you on? What did you do? Oh, I think maybe he was really bent up and pent up and all tied up in knots, because he probably didn't know what she was going to say, and he was afraid of that. But that issue with the producer interfering with their marriage was it. That just took her out, and he lied about it. Why are you lying if it's nothing? Where's that producer today? Becca is grown enough, mature enough to know that she's not the one for Austin. Even though it hurts, she knows that. So they could never be. Michael and Chloe sat down with Kevin Fraiser as well. And basically, I think Michael regrets saying no on decision day. He said what he felt at that moment, which was a no because he had some doubts. And he regrets saying no. I think that Chloe was the maturest one of them all in the season. She doesn't want to get back with Michael. She's not dating anyone, and she doesn't want anybody to block her from her soulmate who she believes is out there. Stay positive, Chloe. Stay positive. But I hope that they can be friends. If it didn't work out, that's fine. At least they seem civil. Though she was concerned about some things. Him not telling his mother about her, she did say concerned her. And she thought if, he never wanted to say yes. She believed he didn't want to say yes on decision day, that he would go through the process, and she thought his answer would be no. She said right after their wedding, she wanted to know what his last name was, and he said, you don't need to change your last name. So she thought that he wasn't here for the long haul, kind of. That was one of the first red flags for her, that she believed he wouldn't stay committed after decision day. But she says she's fine. She's not dating and she's happy. He's not dating either. But that I could see. Their relationship, I thought they tried. They were the only ones, I think, out of everybody, out of the other couples that consummated their relationship. And Chloe was under the impression everybody else had as well, but no. So after that, there was a women's scene. Only the women were out with Kevin Fraiser. And basically what we learned here is that Emily thought that Brennan used her accident as a come up to make him look good. And everything. I thought that too. I mean, I didn't think that. I just thought maybe due to an accident, he became fonder of her. She was hurt. And she just thought he just used her to make himself look good in that. And they had some other conversations, and nothing much went on with that. Last, Kevin Fraiser sat down with Emily and Brennan, the train wreck of a relationship. And Brennan, he kept trying to talk, try to get his point across. Every slip up, everything I think Emily thought was a misstep, she corrected him in that moment. She sees now, she can recognize now that he was trying to use her, manipulate her in the relationship. Of course, Brennan's going to, always deny. And he's going to put this spin that, he tried. It just wasn't, she wasn't the one for him. And they left their scene to be continued. So we're going to pick up reunion part 2 with Brennan and Emily. And it looks like episode 2, reunion part 2, will be more explosive. I don't know if they're going to have a Where Are You Now after this, because my goodness, we have ripped these people up too much. I think that's it. I mean, I don't know. You expect a couple or two not to make it, but all of these people didn't make it. It was just, boy, for a love show, it just put a damper on the mood. Let's see if they can do better next season. But that is it for now. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, and I thank you in advance, but I gotta go because I got a living to do. Bye.